Oh yes, I've got the new Fujifilm X100V. Do you want to buy one? Should you buy one? I don't know, it's your money, but I'm certainly thinking about buying one of these. So, why don't you join me today on my decision-making process? Not literally, because you're stuck behind that computer screen. I got hands-on with the X100V at Fujifilm's UK event, but didn't get photos or videos from it. I'm not going to repeat all the specs you can get on Fuji's website or on the first video. I want to figure out whether I still want this as bad when I'm taking photos of something that isn't a Lego train.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare, an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey.
Now the interesting thing is that this uses the same battery as before, but you get more shots on one charge, 420 versus 350 if you're using the OVF. And that's interesting because the EVF and LCD are bigger and better than before. So it should suck up more power. I guess they're just more economical. But I mean, 99% of the times I'm going to be using the OVF. Just because it's the whole point of this camera.
The X100V is its own niche really. There's no other hybrid finder big sensor point and shoot around, so thankfully it performs well, swiftly acquiring focus on fast moving subjects or not so fast moving subjects.
Now I do like that they got rid of the directional pad on the back there. Now it does look a little bit odd because it's still got the same small buttons around where that directional pad used to be. So it kind of accentuates that big blank space, but your thumb should be there anyway. It's good that there's no buttons to accidentally press when your thumb and your palm is there. Now with the previous gens of the X100, it was a little bit softer f2 close-up. With this, it's improved. It's got 2 spherical elements instead of 1 spherical element. It's just sharper all over.
This has the charm and the framing of, say, a rangefinder camera like a Leica M, but without the fiddliness. You get autofocus, all the mod cons. This is as good as you'll want for a street camera. With the X100V, it feels right in so many ways, even if some people might feel differently about it.
Yeah, so we've got OVF, we've got the EVF, but then we've got the LCD screen which tilts up, which is causing keyboard warriors around the world to intentionally misplace their fecal matter, angrily. Splat, for one of 3 reasons. Number 1, they bought one of the previous gens of the X100s and thus feel they have a say in what the company does in terms of product strategy. Or number 2, they have a phobia of tilty things. There you go. Ooh, are you scared of that? Look at that, it's tilting. It's tilting. Oh. Or number 3, you're actually thinking about buying one of these, but you're not too sure about the tilty screen.
For the first 2, I can't help you. The problem is in your head. For the third one, I can assure you it's more beneficial than a compromise.
See, can use the tilty screen there. So I don't need to get down low.
Touch it to focus. Easy. Or don't. You don't need to use it, remember?
Honestly speaking, I don't think many people are going to be bothered by this tilty screen because it sits so perfectly level with the back of the camera, unless you're a bit OCD and you're bothered by that notch there. But one thing worth noting is that it's easier, it's quicker to do this than it is that. Because most LCD screens, they have a little notch here that you can do it in a 1-step process. This, it's a 2-step process.
It's a sleek, svelte shooter for subtly and discreetly taking photos via the finder or screen boosted by the nearly silent leaf shutter. The colours and the film simulations are top notch. The Jpegs look great and do a nice job of retaining those details and highlights.
Okay, so now I'm going to go to this exhibition thing at the Ministry of Defence. Yeah.
To me, my interest in the X100 has always been as a stills camera. It didn't really bother me that the X100F didn't have 4K, but I guess they had to increase it to 4K. You know, just to show it's up-to-date tech.
I'm at the Defence and Science Technology Exhibition right here in the MOD H-quarters. Why am I here? Because I'm James Bond, of course. Asian version. This is the uniform of the future right here. This is all powered via battery and all this is all connected here. Oh, and then this is protecting the jewels. Very important piece right there. Right behind there we see some virtual reality going on because it's much better than real reality. I'm going to take some video with the X100V. 4K, let's do it. So of course this doesn't have got image stabilization, so it's going to be a little bit shaky. The face detection is working. It's picking up the dude behind because Gadget Boy has got something on his face right now.
Continuous focus and video is good, as are the colours, obviously. It just won't be a great handheld video camera because of the lack of stabilisation. It's a bit too wobbly, but that's not the only issue.
Just under my thumb right here, I'm starting to feel the heat of the camera, and it's about 3 minutes in.
Things do get a little heated when taking video. Even after a few minutes, you'll feel the right side of the back of the camera getting warmer. I did a little test at home with intermittent direct sunlight on the camera, and it cut out after 15 minutes of filming. So yes, the X100V is the best X100 so far, so you should get one right now, right? Or perhaps you should consider one of these. Previously, I shot an X100F vs GR3 vid with Joe Allen, but I had problems with the sound, so it never got finished. Let's finish it off with a bit of an X100V comparison.
I mean, if you try and force that in, it'll look like I've got an erection.
But this one slips in easily.
That could be a start of a new channel for us.
This one slips in easily.
I know you watched Digital Rev before. Let's DR this up.
I'm not sure where you're going with this.
I don't know either, but let's go somewhere.
I feel like I'm going to be in for something terrible.
Sorry, my ring just fell off. I got a loose ring. I think we look the part now with our cameras.
Yeah, pretty good.
We look uber trendy. I mean, in terms of cameras, which one do you think is the coolest looking camera?
To be honest, I've got to go with the X100F still. I think it's the silver, the dials.
It's retro looking. It's got all these chrome bits, silver bits. It looks uber sexy. This is just my electronics. It's black.
Yeah,
it's boring.
The X100V takes the beauty up to another level from the F. Those metal top and bottom plates, cool to the touch, and nothing but fire. The GR3 is rather plain Jane, but it could work to your advantage to not have a camera that stands out.
Essentially what I want to do, especially today, is to not stand out when I'm taking street photos. Yeah, see, look, I'm practically camouflaged into an environment.
They're actually quite different, really. The GR is a pocketable camera, the X100V is not. But with the Fuji you get the benefits of having that superb viewfinder.
I mean, what else do you need in a travel camera? One lens is fine, one focal length, 35mm works for you.
Yep.
Is 28 too wide for you?
Yeah, I prefer to shoot tighter in terms of field of view.
What else do you need in a travel camera?
Speed. How fast can you turn it on, get a shot, turn it off, put it away?
Okay, let's go find out then. Now, the focus speed on this is a lot better than GR2. Oh, look at that, you look amazing.
I think the GR3 is incredibly responsive. From off to on to taking a shot, the X100V is actually quicker, although really not by much. Acquiring focus just a tad quick on the X100V too. Both have face detection, the Fuji has eye detection. Speed of taking out the face is similar as is tracking, although the Fuji has the slight edge when it comes to detecting a face from the side, even with images of faces.
Does it focus close?
Yeah, you've got macro here. That's macro mode. Switch to macro mode. Whoa! I can do that.
Oh, spare Joe the unflattering photo. The Ricoh focuses as close as 6 centimeters, but you need to switch it to macro mode first. You don't need to change any modes on the Fuji to get to the close focusing distance of 10 centimeters.
What type of shutter is that? Is that a leaf shutter or is it?
Yeah, that's all electronic noise. That wasn't a real shutter. I know it sounded like a real one.
Whack the volume way down to 0 on the G and it just shuts up. The noise of the focusing and the shutter noise are quieter than the X100V's focusing and shutter. I mean, the Fuji is still quiet, just saying, yeah? They're both quieter than any focal plane shutter camera.
Try out Ricoh. See what you think of it.
It's very sort of similar in sizing to the G7X, but this has got a much bigger sensor, right?
Yeah, this is APS-C.
Nice.
Which is quite amazing when you think about it. That size APS-C. There's not many other cameras like that.
It lacks the sexiness, the dials, that viewfinder of the X100V, but it is amazing how much they crammed into the GR3.
This has got a stabilizer, right?
Yes, this one doesn't. Fuji doesn't.
No.
Is that important? night shots?
I've never used it as a requirement. My X-H1 has a stable like sensor, but it's handy.
Yeah.
I don't require
not a
it.
necessity.
Yeah.
IBIS really depends if you need it. I agree with Joe though, and I don't think it's a necessity on a camera like this. What is important is that the X100V seems to focus quicker in low light compared to the GR3.
I feel like this is kind of a one-handed camera.
Yeah. Don't you think it's great? I remember seeing a video of Daido Moriyama. He's very famous for using GR. And he just goes around shooting like that. He doesn't even use the viewfinder, he just...
It's understandable why these two cameras are compared, but yet they are different enough to make the decision really quite simple. The Ricoh is wider, performs well for stills in a body that is restrained in styling and very compact. The Fujifilm is not big, but it's not a pocket camera, but it is such a gorgeous looking product. You can appreciate it for its superb svelte lines as much as for the way it packs in a slightly quicker performance all round, the tighter focal length, but most of all for that viewfinder. Sadly, for me and my pocket, that means I don't need one or the other, but I think I need both.
Okay, so for this sponsored bit for Skillshare, I want to give a special shout out to 6 Street Under, aka Craig Whitehead, who has just published his very comprehensive set of lessons on Skillshare. I've known this guy since I was living in Cambridge. He was out on the streets all the time taking street photos. His work is pretty damn magnificent. I've seen him shoot in person and I've done a couple of videos of them. So these are great lessons because you get a guide on how to prepare yourself for street photography, visualize the scene, right up to editing your photos. It's definitely worth checking out if you're into or you're getting into street photography. You can gain full access to those lessons and over 25,000 classes in anything from photography to business and design and much, much more for less than $10 a month. For you guys though, you can try a 2-month free trial by clicking the link in the description box below. Thanks for watching. See ya. Anyway, that's it. Check out Joe's channel, subscribe. Subscribe here if you want, if you haven't already subscribed. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye. Bye. See ya.